Dear students, I am Alambasha, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany. Now I am taking vegetative morphology. First slide, this is. Here you know that plants are differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Then we say that a plant. You know that without root, stem and leaves, the plant said to be thallus. Here, root is underground part, stem is aerial part. Root positively geotropic, stem is negatively geotropic and positively phototropic. When you talk about the plant, root, stem and leaves, that is the root system, shoot system and leaf system, are different parts of the plants or the flower, inflorescence, all those things are there. Now I am explaining you the root system. The root is underground part of the plant axis. You know that in the embryo, where it can be differentiated into radical and plumule. Radical gives rise to root, plumule gives rise to shoot or stem. Here the root is the underground part of the plant axis developing from radical of embryo. It is generally positively geotropic and negatively phototropic. You know, root is generally non-green and without nodes and internodes. You can see the underground part of the root is the mother root or the primary root, that is the main root. It produces secondary roots, tertiary roots and rootlets. In the primary root, where at the tip region it is tapering and where the meristematic cells are there or the young cells are there, they have the capacity of division and redivision, increasing the number of cells. They have capacity of division and redivision and they are young cells and they are smooth cells and these are protected by outside called as a root cap. It is also called as calyptra. Then primary root, that is not an absorption part. The tip of the root, whatever the calyptra or the root cap is there, where it doesn't any absorb water and minerals. Again, the next above that, where the enlarged cells are there, the cells they become enlarged means where they become permanent and they become mature. At the portion of the maturation part, where the root hair formation takes place, and now the system is called as a root system. Now these root hairs are there. The primary root produces the secondary roots, tertiary roots and rootlets. These totally called as a root system. These root hairs are responsible to absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. And when you talk about the functions of the root, root generally provides anchorage to plant and absorbs water and mineral salts from the soil. It transports water and minerals to aerial parts of the plant. It also prevents the soil erosion by binding the plant firmly to the soil particles. Apart from these, root also stores food and provide mechanical support. And in the hydrophytes, where the absence of a calyptra or the root cap instead of the presence of root pockets. And this is the general introduction of root and their functions. Depending upon the nature of the root, when we study the classification of root, the root system is of two types. Number one is the taproot system. Number two is the fibrous root system. You also see these figures or pictures. The first one is the taproot system. Second one is the fibrous root system. Taproot system, you can see the primary root. It arises from the radicle, grows vertically into a long tapering taproot. It branches into secondary and tertiary branches, and the ultimate branches are called rootlets. The entire system of branches and the primary root together called taproot system. You can see commonly any dicots and also gymnosperms. Especially in dicots, you can see the mango or gram and mustard and any gymnospermic plants. And second one is the fibrous root system. Fibrous, name itself indicates fiber-like structures. These fiber-like structures originate from the base of the stem, radically short-lived, and in place of its tuft of roots develop from the base of the stem. All the roots are same length and appear like a bunch of fibers. Commonly seen such type of root system in monocots or monocotic plants. This is called as a fibrous roots. They also give the mechanical support to the plant along with the absorption of water and mineral salts. You compare the taproot to fibrous root. Another one more root is there. The root that develop from any part of the plant other than the radicle. So you remember, the root always derives from radicle. The roots, those which arise from other than the radicle, are called adventitious roots. These adventitious roots are developed from any part of the plant, either the stem part or the root part, whatever the part, they use adventitious in nature or fiber-like structure, and they are not true roots, but they also perform the root functions. That is why all fibrous roots are adventitious, but all adventitious roots may not be a fibrous roots. In the examination, sometimes they ask difference between taproot system as well as fibrous root system. You should also draw these diagrams. Apart from this, roots are undergo modification. Modification for storage. Root, generally what I told you, it is the anchorage in the soil and fixes into the soil, gives support to the plant and absorbs water and minerals. Apart from this, root also undergo modification for storage. That's why the modified taproot storing food is called storage root. That is, the modified taproot storing food is called storage root. The excess food produced in the shoot during the first year. You remember, root does not prepare any food material. Shoot is important to prepare the food material. Roots are only storage organ. That is, the excess of food synthesized produced in the shoot during the first year, it transplanted into roots. As a result, roots turn tuberous by the end of the first year. And you can see some examples are there in the storage purpose. One is the fusiform root. You can also see the diagram here. Example, radish, Raphanus sativus. Fusiform root. Fusiform storage taproot is swollen only in the middle. You can see the diagram. Fusiform storage taproot is swollen only in the middle. It is spindle shaped. To give the example, Raphanus sativus radish, it is also storage of food material. Underground modification. Second one, conical root for storage. Conical storage taproot tapers gradually. You can see this diagram, a carrot you have seen. Generally, these are using for vegetables. Storage taproot tapers gradually from base to tip. You can see the tip region, that is from basal region to tip region. Gradually it conical shape. Example, carrot or Daucus carota. It is called as carrot gedgeri and the fusiform root, that is the radish mullangi. Napiform root, storage taproot is highly swollen. You can see the diagram, the picture of this napiform. Napiform means a top-like, buggery, top-like structure, where food storage takes place, swollen at the base and highly tapering at the tip region. That's why the name is called as an apiform. What are the form? Fusiform or conical apiform, totally they storage food material. But depending upon the food storage, they show different shapes. One shape is fusiform shape, conical shape, napiform shape. Is it not? Napiform or the top-like structure. Example, brassica rapa, turnips, beta vulgaris, sugar beet it is called as. One more root is there, that is called as a fasciculated root. These are a special type of modified adventitious root. These are not modified any taproot or fibrous root. These are modified adventitious roots. Because the storage food in the form of a tuber-like structure, hence the name is called as tuberous root also. They are tuberous root which became thick due to storage of food material. These roots, adventitious roots, storage of food material appears a tuber-like structure, hence they are called as a tuberous root also. These roots occurs in the form of clusters at the basal region of the stem. Example, you can see in the monocot plants where asparagus, fibrous roots stored food material and form a bunch of fibrous roots called as fasciculated roots or fasciculated tuberous root. So remember, these fasciculated roots are modified adventitious roots for the storage of food material. They appear like a tuberous root because store the food material looks like a tubers. They are arranged at the base of the stem, cluster or bunch at the base of the stem. That's why they are called as a tuberous roots or fasciculated roots. And they occur in the form of clusters because of storage of food material and form a bunch of fibrous roots called fasciculated tuberous roots. Dear students, this is the first slide of the root modification. In the second slide, you can study the modification of root for support. Here what you studied, what is root, what are the types of roots, what is taproot system, what is fibrous root system, and the root for modification for storage. There are three types of storage roots are there. One is called a fusiform root, second conical root, third one napiform root. I think you might be understand these different underground modification of root, types of roots, and general introduction of roots. You also the diagram you can observe the taproot as well as fibrous root system, and also modification you can see the one is the fusiform radish, conical carrot, napiform, that is the brassica rapa or the beta vulgaris or beta beetroot, it is called as commonly called as. Thank you students. You can refer and read well, and if any doubts you can contact me. Thank you.